Kevin here with Everyday Entrepreneurs, here with the team. Check out our video. This topic we had today is a lot of good information that will help you with your businesses. And don't forget to check out our contact information at the bottom of the screen. People, it's the Everyday Entrepreneurs. I'm Kevin Buckner. I'm here with the team.
Calvin Snowden.
Lamar Smith.
And the handsome Philip Stewart.
Oh, nice. I like that. So today we wanted to talk a little bit about why you want to start a business. So just to give a little bit of background, obviously we're entrepreneurs. We all started our own businesses. Kind of want to just talk through it and try to figure out what our passions are and why we started our businesses. So I'm going to do it a little different. Calvin's here to my left and I always go with him. So I'm going to go with Phil today.
Okay.
Phil,
Good.
why'd you start your business? What are you passionate about?
Well, I'm passionate about art. So a lot of stuff I do revolves around art. So I played piano. When I was a kid, I used to draw. I'm into technology to a degree. So the website design that I do, it really melds those couple of things together into one. And I always tell the story how I started the business. I was doing website design for another company, and they had me doing work for the company I was working for, but he subbed me out to other companies. So I would do a website not for my direct company, but for one of his buddies, out there. So I kind of got a glimpse of what he was charging them for my work, and it was so much more than I was getting paid. And I was really thinking that why can't I just do this on my own? And I had another colleague and cousin of mine who had a business similar to mine in DC, and he really brought it up really big, Smith Solutions, if you want to look him up, in DC, and he was doing really well. And he brought me into a project and taught me a lot of stuff about website design and dealing with customers and things like that. And that really helped me to kind of bolster the business and jump to the next level. Because I was doing small things here and there for small churches, and I still do churches. And different small businesses and doing business cards and stuff like you would get on Vistaprint. But after dealing with those guys and realizing that the money is out there if you're willing to go get it, that's when I started the business full time and really started to really push it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, having this business, are you still passionate about art, or has it changed? Has your passion evolved over time?
Well, I feel like I'm still passionate about art, for sure.
Okay.
I still play. I still do draw here and there. The website design, I subcontract some of it out, but most of it I do myself. Same thing with the graphic design. So I've been able to preserve that passion this whole time. I don't want to be doing website design for the rest of my life.
Sure.
But for right now, it's great and it keeps me busy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a person who's out there who wants to start a web design company, do they have to be an artist? Do they have to have an art skill? I mean,
not with the tools that are out there now. I mean, there's so many tools that you can build websites for free. I mean, you don't even need me. But if you don't have the time to do the site, or you don't have the creativity to do it, or you don't know the techniques to make it look polished, or to be mobile friendly, or all those other nuances, then you would need to hire somebody. But there's tools out there where you don't need to have the skill to actually to do the eye, to have the eye to do things. With the detail that I do it. There's templates, there's ways to customize it. I still think you need training, but you don't necessarily need to have the artsy portion of it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. No, I like that. I didn't have this Phil, but I had another Phil do my website. And I'm an artist at heart myself, but time consuming. So a lot of it is, if you want to get it out there and open, there's someone who actually can do that for you, that you don't want to have to do it yourself. Plus you want it to be polished, to your point, right?
For sure.
To get it out there, I think one of the things for every entrepreneur, and just people in general, you like to procrastinate. So if I get someone else to do a website, I can work on the next thing that needs to get done for my business. Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Lamar, what about you? What are you passionate about? Why'd you start Dreams Ice Cream?
That's a great question, man, Kev. I'm passionate about a number of things in my life, but I have to say the main thing that I'm really passionate about is I'm passionate about people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you know, I put this on record right now. You know, Kev, I know you my whole life, and you know, you guys, I met you later in life, about going on about 18, 19 years knowing you guys. And the one thing I will say, looking at it from my perspective, is that I always had people to look up to.
Okay,
So like you know,
gotcha.
having you, having Reg, having Dave, my brother. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't just because you guys are older, you guys are mature, and you guys.
They a lot cooler, right? We were cooler.
Absolutely cool. Absolutely. Trust me, I was watching when I was soaking up everything from y'all, and it wasn't just because you guys are like older, you guys are mature, and you guys had goals, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all was somebody, y'all people that I look up to. You know what I mean? So, and because of that, you know, it helped with my maturity. You know what I mean, as an individual and as a man, and it helped me really understand and be like, you know what, you know. Having great people around you, having, you know, in essence, y'all like my mentor, having y'all around me, it really helped me excel. You know, and everybody on the block was, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, your brothers, you know what I mean? You know, Charlie and Andre, you know what I mean? All going around the block, but you know what I'm saying?
I ain't reminiscing like old school.
You know what I mean? To man and y'all fat. And everybody had on Summers Road, everything. So it's like, that's the hood, the block stories I'm talking about. But we, you know, we really were able to really, you know, have something special growing up. Seeing everybody, you know what I mean?
Yes,
so, and because of that, that really helped me out. I'm like, no, I'm passionate about people. You know what I mean? And you know, a business like an ice cream business is something that you're going to interact with people. All walks of life.
Absolutely.
Families, kids, children, the neighborhood community. And so, you know, like I said, by having you guys around, it made me passionate about people, and you know, and like I said, the essence of always wanting to own a business and wanting to, you know, put together something that's going to be kind of easy. I mean, people come to an ice cream place, they're not mad. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's not
unless you don't have their ice cream flavor.
Exactly, unless that, you know what I mean? Unless you run out of something, but people are coming there to. They're happy, and if they're not happy coming in, they're gonna leave happy. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's undercooked, it's underserved. You know what I mean? Like it's ice cream, and we give
like ice cream.
Exactly, and we give you samples too. So you can't say, "Oh, I don't like it." We gave you a sample of it. You know what I mean? And if you order, it's on you. So that was the whole method by doing that. Wow. And so so that's what you know. It's definitely my passions.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, see, I didn't know that. See, this is a great thing about talking with these guys and getting with these brothers. Is like. I learned a lot about them. Like me and Lamar kind of know each other our whole lives, but I didn't know that, right? Absolutely. So it's a good thing. Cal, what about you, man?
Honestly, my passion is business. You know, it's funny. When I was a kid, I had my first job in 4th grade, and it was working at a rec center, Shepherd Park Rec Center, and I worked there 2 weeks and got my paycheck. It was $32.50. Wow. Now I still remember that, and it's years ago. And I thought to myself, man, that's no money. And I decided I was going to start my own business. And what I did was I cut grass. I got a lawnmower, reinvested, bought more equipment. It's funny, my aunt told me about credit. She bought a lawnmower for me. I had to pay her finance, and she helped me grow the business. But I was passionate about seeing something grow. So, and I had, at the time, I was in the landscaping, just flowers and stuff. But taking something that I created and to see it grow, not even just the flower aspect, but this business. I was a kid that took his lawnmower, would walk and do jobs, and I wanted more. And from that time to where I am today, my passion has always been business. I meet with other entrepreneurs, and I want to understand what they go through. So, you know, my second passion is making money, but if you do well at the business part, that second part should come.
Absolutely.
So that you know, and I look at it. I don't have any other hobbies. I don't do anything but business. That's my hobby. That's my passion.
Okay.
No, that's good. I like it. Well, I guess if I had to follow that, my passion is not to be broke. You know, even when I was young, to Cal's point. Worked at a directory of school. I won't mention the name of the school, but worked there. You know, I'm working kind of ever since. Worked through high school, worked through college. I think I would just be working. So the first and foremost, I think it's because I didn't want, I wanted to have money in my pocket. Unfortunately, my dad was kind of cheap, so I never got any money. So I had to do my own thing. But what I learned actually, my second passion was actually art. I kind of learned that from my mom. Mm-hmm. Good old Dolores. Mom D, was an artist, so she ultimately taught us how to be artists. Me, my brother Rob, Wendell. My brother Rob is an exceptional artist, even though I don't know if he's doing anything with it. If you're out there watching, get to it. But he was
some of his drawings.
Yeah, he's an exceptional artist. I was always jealous because I could not recreate what he created. Now he was also, 5 years older than me, but he's still an exceptional artist now. But that is what got me really into design. Because I was like, well, what can I do with art? And, I like it. But then I was like, okay, well, I'll be an architect, right? Yeah. This is going to sound really corny, but I saw the Brady Bunch, and the dad of the Brady Bunch was the architect. And I'm like, okay, I can do that, right? So now, long story short, wind this forward. I didn't become an architect, became an engineer. But I've still always been passionate about it, which ultimately led to opening the design group, right? Working with Calvin and some of the things and just doing the design, I just like it. So that's kind of my passion, art. And obviously I have a bunch of other things that I would love to do. I just don't think I have the time. Yeah. But one of the things about the business, I think, the reason why we want to talk about this topic is you really have to figure out, and you guys just chime in here whenever you want, what you're passionate about. Why would you start a business? What do you want to start a business for? Right? Sometimes your passions, maybe you're passionate about, figure skating. I don't know. You're going to start a business on it? Maybe. Maybe you go to the Olympics. But once you figure out what your passion is, you also have to figure out what you're skilled at, right? So some of the questions I have for you guys is like, are there other skills that you think you need for the company you have, or are there other skills that you would like to pursue and start a new business?
Yeah, well, what I'll say is I think whatever business that you pursue, number one, you have to be passionate about it, right? Because this is going to consume your life. But you have to look at the talents and skills that you have. I met with someone earlier this week, and they said to me, you always think about your to-do list, but what should you have on your not to-do list? And I've always kind of looked at it as the 90-10. The 90% I'm good at, I should focus on, but you always spend most of your time on the 10%. So for me, I feel I'm very good with people and talking with people. So that's a skill that's important. Absolutely. I think that, so most of the businesses that I had involved interacting with people. So the other skills that I look at are when I assess myself, I know what I'm not good at. One of the things that I'm not good at, I am not a taskmaster. I leave you alone. So I hire people who are, and different things like that. So I think when I started my business, after I determined what it was going to be, I figured out what I could do and what I couldn't do.
Gotcha.
Well, I feel like one of this, I don't know if you call it a skill or maybe a character trait, is adaptability.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely.
I started the business and was doing things a certain way, and then someone turned me on to, this is way back in the day, someone turned me on to the Google properties that they have out there that you can really organize your business. So I would say organization is another skill that's important. Absolutely. Not necessarily a necessity for everyone, but if you're starting on your own, you should be organized for sure.
Absolutely.
You have to deal with customers, you have to deal with billing, you have to deal with late fees sometimes, you have to deal with quotes, you have to deal with refunds, all that kind of stuff, and you have to kind of find a way to be efficient with it. And so going back to Google Forms, I was doing email one place, I was doing sharing my folders and my archives and backups in another place. I was doing it a lot of different ways, but I adapted to use Google so I can bring it all together and make it much more efficient. And it's definitely been a boom for the business. So I would say those two things are, among others, but definitely those. Oh, and the other thing I was thinking about is you don't have to be a salesperson, but it helps for sure. Because when you have a service-based business, or even if you have a business like yours where it's not a service but it's a commodity, like actual product, you have to let them know why they want to get it. Why they should get it from you versus going down the street. Why not go to Baskin Robbins or why not go to Yahoo or something like that to get your website, or GoDaddy to get your website. So you have to kind of know how to differentiate yourself, how to make it palatable, because I can speak in very tech speak, but when you're dealing with the average customer, you have to kind of bring it to their level.
Sure.
In layman's terms.
Right.
So those three things I would say, definitely those three things.
Well, and if I could just chime in, one thing that you talked about it in our first video around going to corporate America, then coming.
Yeah.
One of the things that I appreciate, although I was an entrepreneur, when I graduated from college, I didn't think entrepreneurship. I said, I better get a job. Not sure why, but I'm appreciative of it because in there, the company helped me learn what skills and talents and it helped me get better at certain things like public speaking, comfortable with networking. So those skills, I'm glad that I had the opportunity to do it, but you don't realize how much you use them in business and troubleshooting and problem solving.
Absolutely.
That's a great point. I add on to what you guys saying because this is magnificent points that you're making. One thing that I struggle with that I'm, is part of my weakness is time management.
That's huge.
It's major. But that also comes along with discipline.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Disciplining yourself.
Sure. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because when I say time management, like I'm such a real person to like my friends and people.
Right.
But if I'm doing a project myself, my homegirl calls me home and I stop.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I mean? To talk to them. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know what? I can talk to them later or I'll text you later.
Right.
It's not a 911. You feel me? You know what I mean? And it just kind of, again, that goes more with discipline, saying, listen, you know what? I'm using this stretch of time to accomplish this particular task.
Right.
And let's get this done. You know what I mean? And do what we need to do. You know what I mean? And I would also say that to come off what you said, Philip, about sales. We're selling it. This is what we do.
Absolutely.
We're selling ourselves.
Absolutely.
We're selling our service, our skill set, everything. Absolutely. Our brain, everything that we're putting together for us. What we're giving them, because like you said, somebody can go to another ice cream business, but what's the difference? Kind of dreams and experience. We want to give you an experience, your dream experience. So, we got patios outside. We got things outside. We want to make sure interaction. Even implement some things that's going to keep people around.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, listen, I'm coming here, I had fun. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
we'll have a full experience.
Right, absolutely. So,
I got it.
So those things, I definitely agree with you guys. And
I think it's a delicate balance with sales too, because you don't want to be a car salesman, like be extra pushy.
Sleazy car salesman.
You know what I mean? And,
exactly.
No offense to the car
insurance agent. Yeah.
Right.
We need y'all.
Because that turns people off.
It does.
You gotta have a delicate balance where you tell the people what you can offer them, and then give them the space to make the choice.
Correct.
And another one of my mentor told me to ask questions, not necessarily to sell, but you ask a question to find the pain that they're dealing with, and then you propose a solution that comes from your company. So it's an easier way to kind of think about it. Because sales can be scary for some people who are not extra confident or A-type personality and stuff. So
well, and it's key. It's key when you're meeting with your customers to listen to what they're asking for. If you don't, when I started my business, I did a focus group to understand from, especially women. 90% of my customers are single women. So one of their biggest complaints was contractors never listen to them. So it's one of those things that when you want to meet, you don't tell people what they want. You listen to what they need and then come up with a solution. So
that's great.
I think that's why listening, I think, is one of my other areas of key talents.
No, I think that's good. All those are like excellent qualities to have. I just want to piggyback on the thing about the public speaking. I think one of the things that I learned early on was you have to be good speaking to people, right? You got to be able to communicate. So you've got to, I hate to say it, but you have to turn it on and you turn it off, right? So, but you have to be able to speak to everyone, whether it's I always say from the janitor to the CEO of the company, right? Everyone brings value. You just have to figure out what that value is. But one of the things that even if you don't ultimately go to college, which I'm not recommending, I think you should go. There are courses out there where you can do public speaking.
Right. Yes.
There are people who can help you. There's a lot of other social clubs and things like that too that you can get involved to. Everything from Toastmasters to some other things that you can get involved and learn how to speak comfortably. You'd be surprised. It's like one of the second or third fears of Americans, right? Speaking in a public forum. And to me, I kind of laugh. I'm like, I'm gonna do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't, if it's not something that you practice and you're not used to it, you can really get, a mind freeze. I actually did it. Me and Calvin went to grad school together, and I had it all. I thought I had it all planned out. I got up there like I froze for like at least a minute, and I remember it because it's the first time it ever happened. And I froze, and I could not think about what I was going to say.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. And I've been speaking for years. I'm
Right.
just like, why am I froze? And for some reason, my brain locked up on me, and it took me a minute. And I'm like, oh, I got it. Right? But it's something you have to, in my mind, you have to kind of recondition yourself. You got to do it on a constant basis so you get better at it. Right?
Yes.
And I think also that's where the sales comes into play too, right? Sometimes, and I wouldn't even say sometimes, I interact with a lot of you guys, but also interact with Calvin and a lot of clients. And I think one of the reasons to give Calvin a compliment is people do business with Calvin because they like Calvin.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
I can introduce, I'm sure, any of you guys to people I've met, acquaintances that will immediately like you, right? It's personality. Like sometimes you just have to work a little bit on you, right? And what you're selling is a service, but really I want to do business with Lamar. I want to do business with Phil. I want to do business with Calvin.
Right.
Hopefully they want to do business with Kevin. But, it's that type of thing. I notice at the interaction when I look at people, if you can get them into a conversation and they get to like you, sky's the limit. Right? Now, don't take advantage of that, but, in the sense of take that information and kind of run with it. You know what I mean?
But it'll help them feel comfortable also.
Absolutely.
To refer you to other clients.
Absolutely.
Because, to be honest, we didn't spend a whole lot of money on marketing when we started. And everything came through word of mouth and relationships.
Sure.
So the challenge is, and I'm sure this will be a topic at a later time, as your business grows, how do you maintain that same level with every customer you have? You go from having 3 customers, now you have 100, and everyone wants Phil, Lamar, Kevin, Calvin.
Right.
So as you talk about skills to hone, that's a major one because everybody wants a piece of your time to the time management.
That's a good point.
No, I think that's good. But I think we should talk about that for a second because one of the things, even in this topic, is do you need support? Will you need support? So you started a business. I'll just talk about, Dan Buckner's Design Group right now. Started the business, and we basically do interior design, right? Decorating, whatever, right? Whatever you want to call it. We do drawings for all of our clients, for their rooms, and we lay them out and do all that stuff. Now, if, it's me and my partner, so if we have 2 clients, 3 clients, we're good. If I have 6 clients, I'm in trouble, right? So one of the things we thought about was getting someone to freelance, right? So if I need to do a big job and I need a couple different drawings done quickly, I'll hire that out, right? So that's one of the things that we're going to use to try to scale our business as we go, right? Because if you have them laid out, which never happens that way, then it's fine. But if they all come at one time, then you need support. So how are you guys covering support?
Well, I'm a one-man show for the most part, but I do subcontract work out.
Okay.
So I've used tools out there like Fiverr. I attempted to use Craigslist, and it wasn't the best situation. But I have used Fiverr. If anyone doesn't know what that is, Fiverr.com. It's a place where you can go. It's a marketplace for services, and you can get all kinds of services from graphic design, videography, editing, all kinds of technical services as well as non-technical services. And you pay $5 or more for it. So I've used that resource. I don't know. I think you may have told me about it. I think you told me about it. So I've used it a couple times.
That's good.
Yeah, because but what I do is I give certain kind of projects to it because, like I said, people want to deal with me, my eye, and all that stuff. So
going off of what Phil was saying, LG is important. When I mean LG is like, as far as like having your lead generation and understanding where you can gain more leads in all of our businesses, and then having a method or some type of formula where we can create some kind of automation or have different things, because like you said, you come on, people gonna start coming at you, both of y'all, and with crazy projects. Now you gotta scale up now. You got to prep for that now before it even happens.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to scale up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's interesting you bring this up. I think when you ask about what you need, we're all in the same position, right? We all own our own companies, and every day, all the people around us, we pay, right? So you get a distorted picture of how things are. So one of the things you need is someone to keep it real with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I've hired someone where I'm like, it's okay that you tell me the truth. Like, don't worry, there won't be any
Exactly.
But one of the things that's been good is you talk about, like Kev was saying, you get 6 projects.
Mm-hmm.
I used to take them all on, try to do them all at the same time, stretch myself thin. And someone said to me, Calvin, they want to work with you. They want to work with your business. You can say, I'll do your project, but it'll be a month from now. And I was like, no. Well, I was surprised. People didn't mind waiting.
Okay.
You know, right now I have 21 projects on the book.
Wow.
Scheduled. They're all spaced out from here to about